This is ACT practice test. I got it from the ACT website. As you can see over here, these are the instructions. There are 60 minutes to solve 60 questions over here. So let's start with question number 1. Your strategy should be pause, play. This means first of all, read the question, try to do on your own, and then you can solve this question. Question number 1. Marcus' favorite casserole recipe requires 3 eggs and makes 6 servings. Marcus will modify the recipe by using 5 eggs and increasing all other ingredients in the recipe proportionally. Now this is a keyword over here, proportionally, and we are having eggs, then servings, and one more unit eggs, and then we have serving. So what I can do is I can set up a proportion 3 eggs over 6 servings equal to 5 eggs, and the question is asking from me total number of servings. I'll make it x. So I will cross multiply. This will be 3x is equal to 6 times 5 is 30. Divide both the sides by 3. So my value of x is 10. So my answer is what? My answer is 10 servings over here. So this is the answer for question number 1. Question number 2. The 35-member history club is meeting to choose a student government representative. The members decide that the representative who will be chosen at random cannot be any of the 3 officers of the club. What is the probability that Hiroko, who is a member of the club but not an officer, will be chosen? Step number 1, you should write the formula to find the probability. The formula for probability is favorable number of events over total number of events. So now first of all, total number of events, as you can see, there are total number of 35 members over here. But do keep in mind, it is saying that 3 members are officers. So you will subtract those 3, so remaining number will be what? 32 members. So total number is what? Total number is 32. Now, so how many people are chosen as the representative? Only one, that's Hiroko. So favorable number of events is 1. So your answer is 1 over 32. So let's check, is there any answer choice? Yes. Option K is the correct answer choice for this question. For what value of k is the equation 2 to the power 2x plus 7 is equal to 2 to the power 15 true? Look at the bases over here. Since these two bases are same, when we will equate them, you can compare the exponents. 2x plus 7 is equal to 15. So I will solve this because since this is an equation, so 2x is equal to 8 and the value of x will be what? 4, because I divided both the sides by 2. So is there any value of x as 4? Yes. Option B is the correct answer choice for this question. Now let's look at question number 4. Let the function f be defined as f of x is equal to 5x squared minus 7 times 4x plus 3. What is the value of f of 3? So let's first of all write f of x is equal to 5x squared minus 7 times 4x plus 3. Now they want us to find the value of f of 3, so I will write it over here. From this it is quite clear the value of x is what? 3. So I will replace this x by 3 over here. So 4 times 3 will be 12. I'll just straight away write over here 4 times 3 is 12 plus 3. So this gives me what? 5, and this gives me what? 9 and 15. 7 times 15, 8. So 45 minus 105 is equal to negative 60. Do you see any answer choice which looks like negative 60? Yes. Option choice J is the correct answer for this problem. Question number 5. A wallet containing 5 $5 bills, then we have 7 $10 bills and 8 $20 bills is found and returned to its owner. The wallet's owner will reward the finder with 1 bill drawn randomly from the wallet. What is the probability? Now, as I mentioned earlier, whenever you see the word probability, step number 1 is what? You should write the formula. Now do keep in mind you do not have to spend time on writing the formulas on your ACT exam because it is time consuming. I'm just writing because I'm explaining to you. Favorable number of events over total number of events. Now total number of events means first of all how I have five $5 bills, then I have seven $10 bills, and I have eight $20 bills. Now question is saying that the bill drawn will be a $20 bill. So favorable number of events is what? We will look for $20 bills. How many $20 bills I have? 8. So it will be 8. So it is yours 8 over 20, which when you will simplify, your answer will be 2 over 5. So this is the answer. Do you see any answer choice which says 2 over 5? Yes, option D is the correct choice. Let's proceed to the next problem. Question number 6. The ABC Book Club charges a $40 monthly fee plus $2 per book read in that month. The Easy Book Club charges a $35 monthly fee plus $3 per book read in that month. For each club, how many books must be read in 1 month for the total charges from each club to be equal? So let's first of all assume that the number of books they can read is what? Is yours X. Okay, let's assume this is X. So according to the first condition, it will be $40 plus 2X. Now with the second situation, it says $35 is the monthly fee. I got it from here. Plus $3, so per book read is. Now as you can see at this place, it says they both at certain point they both will be equal. So let's put an equal sign. So what I will do is I will solve this. So when I solve the equation, this will be subtracted over here. So this is your 5 plus 2x is equal to 3x. I can subtract 2x from both the sides, which will give me x is equal to 5 or x is equal to 5. So this means what? For each club, 5 books must be read in 1 month for the total charges from each club to be equal. So this is my answer choice for question number 6. Okay, let's look at next question over here in a parallelogram ABCD. So in parallelogram ABCD, AC is the diagonal, the measure of angle ABC is 40 and the measure of angle ACD is 57. What is the measure of angle CAD? So I will expand this line over here. Okay, let me expand this line over here. So what I'm trying to do is, it is an example of transversal line. So if I will expand this over here, since these two lines are parallel, this is a parallel line over here. So this will be acting as what? This will be acting as a transversal. This is a transversal. So what happens in this situation is, if this is your 57, so if you are looking over here, one of the angle will be 57 over here. If I am doing like this, pretend if it's like this. So if this is 57, this one over here will be what? 57. If this is 57 due to vertically opposite angles, if I'm not wrong, this. So because of vertically opposite angle, this will be 57. Now see, it looks like a triangle over here. What you can do is you can add these two numbers over here, use the triangle angle sum property. So if you do this 180 degree minus 40 plus 57, you will end up with what? You will end up with 83 degree over here. So this is what? This is your 83. Now because of our, if you see over here, if this angle is 83, then this one over here will be what? 83. So this is what? 83 over here. I'm using the concept of transversal, so I use vertically opposite angle. These were alternate interior angles which I did. So my option D is my correct answer for this problem. Sorry for too much scratch work over there, because when x is equal to 1/2, what is the value of 8x minus 3 over 2? There are two ways to do this, but I will use another method. So as you can see, this x is a common denominator for both of these terms which are in the numerator. So I can rewrite my next term like this: 8x minus x divided by 3 over x. So this will be cancelled out. I will be left over 8 minus 3 over x. This means it is your 1 over x. Now they have given me the value of x as 1/2. So this means what this is telling me, if I will do 1 over x, what happens is it will, you see, it will change to 2 over here. So what I will do is I will replace my 1 over x by the value 2. It will be 8 minus 6 is 2. So this will be my answer. This part we can, okay, if in case you are confused how I was able to switch this, look over here, it says x over 1 is equal to 1 over 2. If I'm doing the reciprocal of this means what? I need to do the reciprocal of this. It will be 2 over 1. So this means 1 over x is equal to 2, which I plugged in the value or substituted the value over here. So option G is the correct answer choice for this problem. Now for question number 9, in the standard XY coordinate plane, what is the midpoint? So what we need is the formula to find midpoint of the line segment that have endpoints are 3, 8 and 1, 4. So simply just apply the formula for midpoint. Midpoint formula is x is equal to x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y is equal to y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So what I will do is I will just substitute my values over here. So I'm taking this as x1. If I take this as x1, this is my y1. If this is my x2, this will be my y2. So let's substitute the values. 3 plus 1 divided by 2, which gives me 2. And in this case over here is y1 is my 8. This was my plus of negative 4 divided by 2. It gives me 4 over 2. That's my 2. So my set of coordinate points will be what? 2, 2 for this problem. So option D is the correct answer for this question. Question number 10. The fluctuation of water depth at a pier is shown in the figure below. Of the following values gives the positive difference in feet between the greatest water depth and the least water depth shown in this graph. Which value is there? So first value I will think it starts from this height over here. That's your 12 feet. So I will take one value this, and the lowest I can see is goes over here. That's your 6. You can see this one is kind of same 6 over here. So in this case I will subtract, since the question says positive difference, then I got my answer 6 feet. Okay, so option G is the correct answer for this question. Question 11 says, what is the slope of the line through negative 2, 1 and 2, negative 5 in the standard XY coordinate plane? So in this case, what we will do is we will use the formula for slope. So our slope is represented by letter M. Formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is my x1, this is my y1, this is my x2, this is my y2. So let's substitute the required values over here, which I am doing. Okay, so it will give me negative 6 over, this will change to a plus sign over here, 4. So my answer is what? My answer is negative 3 over 2. Do you see any answer choice which looks like this? Yes, option D is the correct answer choice for this question number 11. In Cherokee County, the fine for speeding is $17 for each mile per hour. The driver is traveling at over the posted speed limit. In Cherokee County, Kirk was fined $221 for speeding on a road with a posted speed limit of 30 miles per hour. Kirk was fined for traveling at what speed in miles per hour? So what you should do in this question is, first of all, you should divide 221 by 17. So when you divide this by 17, you end up with what? You end up with 13 over here. This means what? This means it is 13 miles per hour speed he was going fast. Okay, so you see $17 for each mile per hour divided by, I did this. Now, yes, you can see the posted speed limit is 30. So this means what? He paid extra for 13 miles per hour. When I add those two numbers, I end up with 43 miles per hour. This means the speed limit posted for Cherokee County at that time was 43 miles per hour on that road. So the answer is H over here. Question number 13. What is the sum of the solutions of the two equations below. This means they want us to find the value of x plus y. Do keep in mind, they are not asking x and y, they are asking the sum of the solution. So when I look at this 8x is equal to 12, what I can do is I can divide by 12, I can divide by 12. So my value of x will be what? 2, 3. So my answer is 3 over 2 for the x. Now when we go for y over here, let me change the color of my ink. So this says 2y plus 10 is equal to 22. I will subtract 10 from both the sides. 2y is equal to 12 and y is equal to 6. So I have to find x plus y. This means I have to find what? I have to find 3 over 2 plus 6. So that will give me what? That will give me 7.5 or 7 1/2 is my answer for this problem. Option choice B is the correct answer. Now this 3 over 2, if you are confused, it is your 1.5, and plus 6, it gives you 7.5, and 7.5 if you change in fraction is equivalent to 7 1/2. The average of 5 distinct scores has the same value as the median of 5 scores. Average means mean. Okay, the sum of the 5 scores is 420. What is the sum of these 4 scores that are not the median? Okay, now first of all, let's take an example. There are 5 numbers, x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 plus x5. How we find the mean? You divide everything by 5. This gives you mean. Okay, so now what they have given us, they have stored the sum of the 5 scores is 420. So this means what? I can replace all of those 5 by 420, which will give me the mean. So my mean will be equal to what? My mean will be equal to what? Mean is what? 84. Now let's read the question again. Question is saying the mean of the 5 scores, that's your 84, is same as the median of the 5 scores. This means median is what? Median is also what? Median is also 84. Now the question comes, how you find the median? Median is the number in the middle. Let's think we are assuming all of these numbers are arranged in order. So number in the middle means what? This number is what? 84. That's why it's a median. And the question says, what is the sum of the remaining 4 numbers? So what I can do over here is, since I know all of these 5 numbers on adding is 420 is in the question, so I will subtract this 84, this means this digit from this, and I end up with 336. So this means what? This is the sum of the 4 scores that are not the mean. So option choice H is the correct answer for question number 14. Let's go to question number 15. What is the value of the expression below? Okay, I can see it's kind of an absolute value question over here. So let's start with this. Let's try to solve first of all this. Negative 8 plus 4 will give me what? Negative 4. Okay, I need to erase this. There you go. Now, but keep in mind, it gave me negative 4, but it is within this absolute value. Minus, it gives me like this. So let's write the next step. This will give me a positive number. Minus sign, it gives me a positive number over here. This gives me negative 2. Your positive answer is what? Positive 2. So correct answer choice is option D. That's the correct answer choice for this question over here. Let's look at question number 16. Which of the following expression is equivalent to x 2/3? Okay, this is in the exponent part, x 2/3. Okay, first of all, let me give you some background information over here. Okay, whenever you are having square root of 2, this means you can write it like this, 2 1/2. If you are having cube root of 2, you can write it like this, 2 1/3. If you are having fourth root of 2, you can write it like this, 2 1/4. If you are having fifth root of 2, you can write it like this, 2 1/5. So from this, what you came to know is you came to know that whatever is the value, this is called order of a root. Whatever is the order or the index or the degree over here, it goes like this. So now in this case, when you see x 2/3, it is telling you that you can also write it like this, x square, you can write it 1/3 like this. You see, when I will do 2 times 1/3, it will give me 2/3 only. Now look at this part over here. So this means when you are having 2/3, you can write it like this, cube root of 2. So similarly, when you are having x square, I can write it like this, x square. Do you see any answer choice which looks like this? These choices? Yes. Choice K is the correct answer for this problem. Next question over here, it says, what is the in the standard xy plane, what is the slope of the line given by the equation? Now standard equation of the line, you will write it like this in the form of slope intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b, where b is what? Sorry, m is what? M is the slope and b is yours y-intercept. And what is your y-intercept? Value of y when x is 0. So I will take this equation and I will rewrite it in this form, and then I will look for the value of m or the coefficient of x. So I have 4x is equal to 7y plus 5. So keep in mind I need y on one side, rest on other side. So I will subtract 5 from both the sides. So this gives me 4x minus 5 is equal to 7y. I will divide both the sides by 7. Do keep in mind I'm dividing like this, and I will do the rest of the part over here. So it looks like this, y is equal to, because I will cancel these two, y is equal to 4 over 7x minus 5 over 7. Now let's compare this with our standard form of equation of line and slope intercept form. This is your m, this is the value of m. Question was saying what is the slope, so your answer choice is B. That's your answer choice for this question. So in this case over here, which of the following conditions with the sum of integers m and n will always be positive? What I do in this case, I will just pick m as 3. Any value, you can also do same thing, and I will pick n as an even number 2. So when I add both of them, okay, what is m plus n? M plus n will give me 5. So this is telling me that this is an odd number and this is an even number. So let's see over here, m is an odd integer. Yes, that's right. But what about n? It does not say about n. N is an odd integer. It's possible I can rewrite this. I can take m as 2 and I can take n as 3. Yes, I will still get the same answer. So, but the thing is, it's not clear. So m and n are both odd integer. That's not working for me. But if I will take this as 3, then our answer will be 6. Question says our answer should be what? Odd integer. M and n are both even integers. If I take m as 2 and n as 2, 2 plus 2 will 4. That does not satisfy. So option choice K is the one which really is the correct answer, and with respect to the condition which have been given to us. Let's look at question number 20. In triangle DEF, the length of D, let me draw a triangle DEF. So let's take an example. This is my triangle DEF. This is the D, this is E, this is F. Length of DE is radical 30, so this is radical 30 inches. And the length of EF, this is the length of EF, that's your 3 inches. What is the length of DF? Now, if you look at this triangle, the question does not say whether it is a right triangle or what type of triangle is this. If it was a right triangle, I would have used your Pythagorean identity, a square plus b square equal to c square. And in that situation where c is the hypotenuse, I would have got the third side. So I will pick this choice K. This is the correct answer, cannot be determined from the given information. That's the correct answer for this problem.